All right, y'all, what's going on? What's going on?
Yes, that's the wrong time.
She's a real girl in a fool's world. She's a great catch, and she cooks from scratch. That's a real girl in a fool's world. Do you know what I'm
Okay, so today we're eating white chicken chili and deli sandwiches. Okay, so if it's your channel, please subscribe to the channel and subscribe. Even if you haven't subscribed, definitely want to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you get notifications the next time we post a video. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know things you always see us try, things you always see us cook. Interact with us because we do like to hear from you. I'm gonna start getting started. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this food that we're about to receive for nourishment of our bodies and health. In Jesus' name we pray, man. I cut mine all crazy. This one croissant bread. And then got Wover sweet and spicy milk, the butter and walnut, and primal kitchen mayo. We have salami, turkey, ham, and deli sliced chicken. Cheddar cheese, white cheddar, and this private selection cheddar mix. So me in my comments, because I'm caught up, y'all. I didn't respond to all unresponded comments. It was a lot of videos dating back to the end of 2024. But around this time, maybe 2025, someone made mention of white chicken chili, and I said, "We're allowed to make that." I haven't made it in a long time. I used to make this all the time when me and my sister lived together, and my nephew and Gavin was little. I used to make this all the time. Can't recall if they ate it, but me and my sister used to eat it. And
I remember the smell, so maybe I did.
I worked at the job that I was working at the time. Whenever we had potlucks, I would bring this, because what I would do this time, I used chicken thighs, but I would just get bags of like already cubed chicken. And use that. It's real simple. Nice little crock pot meal, okay?
I love the texture of the deli sandwich.
I got the recipe from my dad.
I got the recipe from my dad. Any my
I don't know how I ain't nothing long done. I still can't remember what I wanted to tell y'all in that other video, but something I just thought about and I don't know if I don't think this is a thing. But and I love P. Davis. She asked me in the comments, she's like, "Did you remember what you want to tell?" I was like, "Girl, it's gone. I don't remember." I'm really sorry about that. But somebody from my hometown, he won a Grammy. Duran Bernard. He actually lived on a street that someone a friend that I used to have or whatever. And I used to be on their street all the time, but I don't recall if I did ever see him. I don't remember, but I think he lived across the street from the friend that I had. But yeah, he won a Grammy. But at any event, like I just like early on, you know, where I discovered him was, I don't know if y'all remember, and this probably was the Vine days, but he had and I thought I didn't even realize that he was from Cleveland, like at first because of this song, but he had did this little video talk about it's so cold in the deep. Oh, maybe he was just singing it because it was some people that was actually singing this song, but they was like talking about it's cold in Detroit. And I don't know if y'all remember that, but it was like it's so cold in the deep. How the heck am I supposed to get beat? It's all in that song. Something. I don't know, but so he was singing that song in a little Vine. I think it was a Vine video, and I feel like that was the first time maybe I saw him on the internet. And that video, if y'all understand, that video is old. I feel like I was still in college when I seen that. But in any event, like I don't know, found him on social media, like been following him for a long time. Listening to his music. He's a backup singer for background vocalist for Erykah Badu. And he's just been making music. I've just been following him like all these years or whatever. And he won a Grammy. He won his first Grammy. I remember he was talking about this. He posted a video about this, about he had been featured on a Grammy Award winner's album, and he thought that he had won a Grammy too, but then like he had got conflicting information. One of his friends called him and told him that because he was a feature on a Grammy winning album, that he then too also won a Grammy. Then he got somebody called him who is on like the Academy, or you know, the Recording Academy's like committee, and they told him that he would have had to contribute 51%, I think, to the total body of work in order to have won a Grammy for it. But he did win a certificate for being a part of that project. And he's won, he said 5 certificates, or maybe 4 certificates, and something higher than a certificate, and now he's a Grammy winner. I remember when the Grammy nominations came out, I was just like, man, I really hope that he wins. It's so funny because he's a trending meme right now because of how he ran to the stage when they called his album. He said he had sat all the way in the back of the theater because he was ready to congratulate somebody else, and he wanted to be able to make a beeline out of the theater when he didn't win, but he ended up winning. And so he had a long trek to the stage, and he ran to the stage. It was actually hilarious. And I just think that everybody from Cleveland was just so excited, man. I've seen so many people post about him and stuff like that. I did post, like just reposted the one of the videos of him running to the stage, or his acceptance speech, because I just think it's dope, man. I'm happy for him, because I think he was just definitely very publicly embarrassed that he thought that he had won, and it turns out he didn't. Also, but he really can sing.
My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, buddy, buddy. My buddy, my buddy, my buddy.
So yeah. A win for the home team, y'all.
Everything the best.
And I remember like something. I mean, I've been definitely learning a lot from listening to the R&B Money podcast about how stuff works. Like,
And the Ramsey show.
mhm. And the what was I say about like getting clearance and stuff when you use samples and stuff. But I remember him saying years ago that he had made this this F Ninja Free song or whatever, but it had a lot of samples from other songs, and he was like, because everybody wanted him to put the song out because it's a dope song, and he was like, y'all don't understand, like if I wanted to put this song out, I got to get all this sample cleared, and that means that he got to pay these people money. And he was like, who got money for that? Because he's an independent artist. And that's really cool. Like, I know it's a big win when independent artists win, because they doing everything themselves. They doing everything themselves. They paying for everything. They don't got the big budgets as if they were signed to a record label. So it's like hard. It's 10 times the work,
Yum.
probably 20 times the work to get their work out there and stuff like that. Get noticed, be seen, get plays, and then needing to conform to the industry standards, if you will, to be able to make it. But he has remained true to himself and still been able to win a Grammy. So it's dope. That's something he been talking about. Being able to, he never changed or folded or had to put on the win. He won that Grammy doing it exactly the way that he wanted to do it. And another thing about him is that he can skate really good. I wish I could skate as good as he does. And I also love watching, like, getting when Erica Badu posts or he posts clips of him, like, doing background vocals for her. And she'll give him a solo spot and just let him, just blow. I hope he be on the, they get him on the R&B Minute podcast soon or at some point. All right, let me tell y'all about these people at work, child. Not the band of Misfits. What's the one?
Me?
No, but
Thumbs up for Daddy Sam.
precisely. I didn't know what glasses were. That's hilarious. Okay, so I'm people on my job. Because I'll just be having to tell y'all about this foolishness. Okay, so I had this associate who don't work at our company no more, but he gets a yearly payment. A retirement payment. He gets it yearly, right? Well, homie ain't get his payment, so he called earlier this week. Want to see about it. Okay, he said, "Hey, I didn't get this money. $210,000. Okay." Now, when they reached out to my team to see if it had been returned before they resent the payment, and I was like, "One, all right, I don't have access to the bank stuff, or I don't have access to like a lot of the, like, I don't know, minute things. It's not minute, but just like in the weeds. Like, it's just not necessary for me to have it. Or sometimes I review their stuff, but I don't do the thing. And this is one of the things that I don't do the thing, so I don't have access to it. I was like, okay, well, the girl who on my team was what I dubbed her new 3. She got access and she could just look it up when she get back in the office. Well, she ain't been in the office the last 3 days. She been calling off. And so I was like, frick. So I got to look into this. So the second day that I realized that she wasn't going to be in the office, I was like, okay, well, let me look in this. So I looked. Well, first, what did I do? I knew I needed to look in the bank or whatever. And so I didn't have access to the bank. I asked to look for me. We didn't really see nothing or whatever. We tried to look up the person. We looked up. We didn't look him up. We looked up the amount and we didn't find the amount. So then I contact the bank and I'm like, hey, looking for, this payment to this individual, whatever. She asked these simple questions, but it was stuff that I didn't have. Like, she wanted the login or whatever, and then wanted the guy's bank account. Well, 2 don't really. He just acts so aloof and crazy about stuff that I couldn't. And I had to hustle. I was at my part-time, so I couldn't. I was on my phone, but this part of our system I can't access while I'm on my phone. So I'm asking him to look up something. He talking about he can't see it, blah blah blah. Well, I come home and I found it immediately, so I send it to the bank lady. And mind you, by the time I get kind of what I need, this is the 3rd day. Today was the 3rd day that I have been working on this thing. So the bank lady, she comes back and she says she don't see it. the date range that she used, I was like, can you just extend it? Because I feel like we would have confirmed our payroll on this date. So can you backdate it to this date and let me know? Still didn't find nothing. I was like, okay. But then in my mind, I was like, I know I can't just stop there. I need to look further. So I'm like, okay, I asked her if she could provide me like with so the bank I'm like, I need to file so I can see like, you know, what was received versus what we paid out. Cause like something like, why would this one payment out of all the payments that we submit have fallen off this file or whatever? So I asked the bank lady for the file. She say, how do y'all send it out? Does it go out like basically does it go out in one or two places in the banking system? And I said, so I'll reach out to HR and I say, hey, the bank, she told me that she ain't seen no record of this payment, but I'm trying to do, because I feel like I need to look at the file and make sure that this didn't go out, because like $210,000 is a lot of money. You feel me? I say, this is a lot of money. So I need you to tell me how do y'all process the payroll? Okay, now I'm asking the payroll people, the people who process the payroll, how do you do it? This girl said, well, I don't know. We can add my manager and see if he can give some, share some insight. I said, okay. So I pull up a group chat with me, the HR lady that I was talking to, and her boss. And I say, hey, I send basically the same message. I say, hey, the bank lady, she want to know this information. How do y'all process the payroll? He starts sending me screenshots of the specific associate that we trying to figure out what happened to his money. And I'm like, it say here ACH. Dingbat, I know that it went ACH. Duh, that's why I'm looking at the bank, because it went out. It was supposed to go out ACH, but it didn't. So I'm trying to figure out how. I said, oh, my apologies. In general, how do y'all send the payroll out? This dude gonna say, well, one, like I said, he kept sending me screenshots. He sent me one screenshot of how their payment election, which is ACH, and it's the bank account. Then he sends me another screenshot that shows that the payment was rejected. So I feel like at that point, why did y'all need me? It say it's rejected, so therefore it didn't. Clearly the person didn't get the money at all. Like it ain't say returned. It said rejected. So something happened before it even went out the door. Okay, well, it didn't even make it out the door. And that's what I would have did. Like I would have used my deductive reasoning to understand that, but they didn't. And so I said, okay. He said, that's not a us question. And then he said his boss told him to tell me to ask Calvin. Me and Calvin on the same team. We deal with the payroll taxes. We don't deal with associate payroll. We don't make sure people get paid. I'm talking to the people that make sure that our employees our associates get paid. So why don't you know how you pay the people? I'm like, and so at that point when he told me that that's not a us question, I said, all right, so this is where I'm about to stop talking to y'all. And I was like, well, you know what? The bank said they ain't see it. That little thing said it was rejected. The person said they ain't get it. So I said, that's on y'all if y'all want to reissue it or whatever. I said, it's up to y'all if y'all want to reissue. And I was about to stop talking to them. And then the girl that the payroll lady that I was talking to, she was just like, I would love, she was like, maybe I can give you trace information because somebody on my team had given her that before. And I was like, well, that's what I'm trying to get from the bank lady, but I need to tell her how we pay the people. And y'all not giving me that information. So how am I going to help? Y'all not helping me help y'all, help me help y'all. You feel me? So, and then she made mention that, she want to reissue it, but she she was nervous because it is a large amount of money. Like, I mean, it's chump change to the company, but I mean, that's a lot of money to be, if we had messed around and sent this person a total of $400,000. Now, I also forgot to mention that before I got to talking to the people that pay the people today, I had reached out to the lady who was new one, the one that was actually, she was new 3 before new 3. She's new 3. I mean, she was the 3 before new 3. So I had reached out to her and I asked her, hey, if for whatever reason somebody say they didn't get they check, what could have happened if I don't see it on the bank side? She's like, well, one, if the person closed, the associate have reached out to our HR and told us that the payment went to an account that's closed. So we was like, okay, well, old three said they could have still, the bank could have still sent the money to that person's closed account. Scenario number one. Also, if the person owed the bank money, the bank could have kept the payment, and that's why the person didn't get the money. Scenario number two. Scenario number three. If the person opened up a new bank account at their bank, then the bank could have just put it in the new account instead of the closed account or whatever. A couple things could have happened, but she was like, but when I talked to old three today, she was just like, y'all shouldn't be like, they shouldn't be reissuing nothing. Like, if the person ain't get the money, if the associates say that they didn't get the money, then they need to contact their bank and figure out what happened, because especially if we had already sent the money, but we kept looking. She went to the bank website too. She looked, showed me a different way to look, and I saw that the payment wasn't there, so we didn't send it at all. And then we looking in the HR system and realize that this person ain't been working for us for a long time, but the only reason why he get that yearly retirement payment. So which is why, because we like, why we ain't seeing no other, like, we literally ain't seeing nothing for this dude. We ain't seeing no older paychecks or nothing. Like, we didn't see nothing. So then she go through a couple different ways that we could research it, which I'm glad that I'm glad she showed us that, so that I can look this stuff up, because it's getting to the point where, like, I can't depend on new three, and two don't know, he don't know his left from his right, so I can't depend on him. So I need to be knowing how to, like, I just haven't really been in the weeds before, and I shouldn't have to be in the weeds, honestly. But with the, not being able to depend, trust, count on either one of these two people that I have to be able to look up this stuff or see, troubleshoot, answer some questions or whatever. So, it's definitely about time. Like, this year, it will definitely be a year for me to just, like, really, really understand their processes or whatever processes, so that if they ain't in, I could do it. Some stuff I do, it's a couple things that I did learn how to do, just because I can't depend on them, but it's other stuff that I just really need to get up in there. You feel me? Like, cause they play too much. So, but another thing also is that I've told them so many times to make SOPs. New three like to argue me down every time I tell her that. She's like, oh, there's SOPs out there. Well, if it's SOPs out there, why isn't it one for this process? And why, like, they're not out there, and they're not out there. So why do you keep arguing with me about it? Like, just make the damn SOP, and then it's not that hard, honestly. Like, you take a couple screenshots of what you're doing, and then you use Copilot, which is Microsoft's Chat GPT. Use that to make the words. You don't even got to work that hard for real. So yeah, so they getting on my nerves now. I'm definitely not making the SOPs for them, but I will be documenting and writing down stuff, so that I just know how to do stuff or whatever. So anywho, O3 showed us how we could look up the payments in two different systems, which I might need to get access to just one system, because I don't have access to it. But it's also very annoying, because, like, why y'all just can't know how to do your job or be here to do your job? So yeah, but my whole point of telling y'all that was, I was so annoyed that the people who pay the people couldn't tell me how they pay the people. And then they're gonna tell me to ask Calvin on how they pay the people. Like, why would I ask him? Now, he was the manager of the payroll team before he came to the payroll tax team, but he ain't the manager no more. And furthermore, it don't matter. You should know your processes. Even if I found out today that how it gets paid is that it's the same kind of way that when we push our tax payments out, we generate some files that go different places. There's a ACH file that goes to this system, and that's what we looked. We looked in that system to see what happened to the file before it went out, and it failed in that system, and that's why it never even made it to the bank. But and so we got a couple, but I know how our payments go out, even if I'm not the one in the system pushing out the payment, like and that system pushing out the payments. I know that when we release some payments, we generate some files. Okay, depending on the payment type, we're gonna generate an ACH file. We're gonna generate a check file, depending on how these things need to be paid, and then we're gonna take them files, we're gonna drop them into this place, and then them files go where they need to go. One of them go to the GL, another one go to AP for the checks, accounts payable, and then the last one go to the system that I'm talking about, and it gets pushed out, and it gets swept to the bank. It get pushed off to the bank, and then that's how they get paid. I know how our payments get paid, and I'm not the person, like, technically once I'm done not really, but like once I've dropped them files in a place where they get swept and go where they go, that's all I got to do. But I still know, y'all feel me? So like, why don't you still know the general process of how things are paid? Y'all just in here I just have never seen a worse group of people that just like, and then the HR leader of the whole HR, well, not the whole HR, but the lady's boss's boss, the one that told me told him to tell me to ask Calvin, like, he is the laziest he is the caucasity of it all. Like, this man stay telling people what he not gonna do, what him and his team not gonna do, and it's stuff that they should be doing. Like, if it has to do with paying the people, it's on y'all. Like, and they be always trying to push it off on us or say that they not doing it or they don't know and all that kind of stuff. How did that mean you trying to tell me you don't know your job? And why don't you know your job?
That's crazy.
Ain't it crazy? Because like, I can't get away with telling somebody that I don't know my job. Myself, as a melanated person, I can't go up in there and tell them I ain't gonna do something, I don't know something, because they're gonna try to get me out of there lickety split. Okay, but these people,
they should be fired.
They should be fired.
Because why? They don't. If they don't know how to get paid, that means they don't know their job. If they don't know how to work.
That's what the puppy said. Okay, they need to do better. Okay, they need to do better. And then it was funny, we were talking today, which was like, shoot, ain't about time for him to retire, but shoot, he grooming his little predecessor to be the same way he is, which is to keep pushing it off on other people or saying like, I couldn't believe he said that's not a us question. What do you mean it's not a us question? Yes, it is. How do you pay the people? When you submit the payroll, from you clicking the button to say, hey, pay these people, how does it get to the associate? Why don't you know that? Mommy. I don't care if you're not the person that actually, like I said, you're not the one that processes the files, but you should know that there is a file that is generated that is then submitted to the bank to be paid, to pay the associates. Like, I feel like that's just general knowledge that you should know, and why didn't you tell me that?
Can we talk now? Why they want you to ask Calvin? That's why they're acting dumb when they say, "Why ask Calvin?"
It don't make no sense because Calvin not even on their team. So why would I ask him about a process that y'all own? That's like me asking the Bubby That's like me asking the Bubby to how do the people get paid? How he gonna know?
But they just they want you to do it so they can get you off of your team. They want you to get on their team.
I bet you I don't go to their team. I feel like my brain cells will slowly die if I went on their team, so I'm not doing that. Okay, I don't like being around slow people. So
yeah.
All right, but we gotta go. That's it. That's all, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know things you see us try, things you see us cook. Interact with us because we like to hear from you. And subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe. And hit that bell so you get notifications the next time we post a video. And we'll see you in the next one.
Peace out.
Peace out.